Who is Evelyn Parker in Cyberpunk 2077? Evelyn Parker is an important character in Cyberpunk 2077's main story. In Cyberpunk 2077, you play the role of V, who can be played either as a male or female character. Since I played the game as the male version of V, I will be talking about V from the male character's perspective. In Cyberpunk 2077, V starts out as a low-level mercenary, doing low-paying jobs with his good friend and partner in crime, Jackie Wells. Both V and Jackie are dreaming of making it big in Night City, and they think that they finally got their break when Jackie informs V that one of Night City's biggest fixers, Dexter Deshawn, also known as Dex, wants to meet with V to discuss a job. Doing a job for Dex would be huge for V's reputation in Night City's criminal underworld, as it would establish him as a proven mercenary, or merc for short, and lead to future high-paying jobs not just from Dex, but from other fixers in Night City. In the world of Cyberpunk, fixers are like the mob bosses of a territory, and they are the gatekeepers to bigger and better jobs for mercs. When V meets with Dex, Dex explains to V that he has a very risky and dangerous job for V that involves stealing a highly sought-after biochip from the Arasaka Corporation for a client. The job would be dangerous and risky, but it would also pay V and his pals a huge amount of eddies. In the world of Cyberpunk, eddies is slang for money, or Eurodollars, the currency used in Night City. Nobody in Cyberpunk uses the term Eurodollars. Instead, they always use the term eddies. The client who hired Dex is Evelyn Parker, a mysterious woman who Dex knows very little about. All Dex knows is that Evelyn hired him to steal the biochip from the Arasaka Corporation, and that she plans on selling the biochip to Netwatch, a powerful private corporation that provides network security to megacorporations. Dex confides with V that he tried to vet Evelyn by putting the word out that he was looking for intel on her. However, he was told to leave it alone and stop digging by, quote, some brothers from Pacifica, unquote. In the world of Cyberpunk, we know that Pacifica is Voodoo Boys territory. The Voodoo Boys are a Haitian street gang made up of terrifying, highly skilled netrunners, universally feared for their ruthlessness and their ability to penetrate firewalls and kill you by frying your brains in real space with a few strokes of a keyboard. You don't mess with the Voodoo Boys, and when they say to leave something alone, it's best to heed that advice. And Dex likely put two and two together and decided it wasn't worth digging any further into Evelyn's background. Dex also informs V that Evelyn asked to meet with someone from the team, that she is anxious and wants to parlay with someone who's going to be there for the whole job, and Dex tells V to meet with her. He explains that T-Bug's not a people person, Jackie's only good for some things, and Dex himself will be remote. And so he's arranged for V to meet with Evelyn at Lizzie's bar in the Watson district. After meeting with Dex, V heads to Lizzie's bar to meet with Evelyn. And once there, he approaches the bartender to ask where he can find her. The bartender refuses to tell V anything. But Evelyn, who unbeknownst to V has been sitting at the bar the whole time, tells the bartender it's okay and walks up to V. She refers to the bartender by name, implying that she is well known at the bar, and potentially explains why the bartender was protective of her. Evelyn approaches V, tells him that she knew it was him as soon as he walked in, and orders a drink for V. V comments that Evelyn ordered Scent Zone, the only tequila that he drinks, and asks her how she knew this. Evelyn responds by saying that she likes to know everything about the people she works with. which suggests that she has done a lot of research on V and that she's careful and resourceful. V comments that Lizzie's bar doesn't seem like Evelyn's thing, and Evelyn takes that as a compliment. Evelyn then moves the conversation to a private lounge where she and V can have more privacy to discuss the job, and she tells the bartender, if anyone asks, we're not here. Once in the lounge, Evelyn starts off by asking V how long he's known Dex, and V responds honestly, letting Evelyn know he hasn't known Dex for long. This piques Evelyn's curiosity, and she wonders why Dex selected V. She notes that Dex is known for picking good mercs, and called V trustworthy. But she also remarked that only used car salesmen are worse than fixers. Still, she says she has done her own research on V, and she's going with her gut. Evelyn then discusses the job and that it involves stealing a personality transfer biochip from Arasaka. Evelyn notes that while the biochip, also known as a relic, is state-of-the-art technology that Arasaka Corporation has poured billions of dollars into, it's the data on the biochip that Evelyn wants. Evelyn tells V the biochip is being held in Konpeki Plaza Hotel, which V has never been to before, but apparently Evelyn has. Konpeki Plaza is a high-end hotel owned by the Arasaka Corporation, located along the waterfront of the Watson district in Night City. It's used mainly by the rich, such as corporate executives. Evelyn goes on to tell V that the biochip is being held in a suite on the top floor of the Konpeki Plaza, occupied by the infamous Yorinobu Arasaka, who is currently visiting Night City. This is the first formal introduction to V of Yorinobu Arasaka. Evelyn explains that Yorinobu is the heir apparent to the Arasaka Empire, the son of Saburo Arasaka, the leader of the Arasaka Mega Corporation. Although V has never been to Konpeki Plaza, Evelyn is familiar with it and tells V that the fresh they serve is sinfully good and that the chef must have made a deal with the devil. This adds mystery to Evelyn and her background. It is unclear at this time why Evelyn is familiar with the hotel and the food it serves, as this hotel is used mainly by rich corporate executives and is beyond the reach of the ordinary Night City resident. Next, Evelyn takes V to the basement of Lizzie's bar because she wants to show V a brain dance recording, which will provide V with intel on Yorinobu's suite in Konpeki Plaza. It's at this time that Evelyn reveals to V that she is the one that recorded the brain dance, meaning that Evelyn herself has been inside Yorinobu's suite, and V will be watching her brain dance recording. It is at this point in the game that V learns what a brain dance recording actually is and what it's capable of conveying. V learns that through brain dance technology, V can see, hear, taste, touch, and emotionally experience exactly what the person recording the brain dance experienced, as if he were that person. And it is through this meeting with Evelyn that V also learns how to examine a brain dance to glean information about a person's experience that even the person who made the recording was not even aware of. Valuable information that V will be able to use throughout his journey through the Cyberpunk story plot. In part 2 of the Evelyn Parker series, we will discover what happened during and after the biochip heist at Konpeki Plaza, particularly with regard to Evelyn and her tragic story. We will also discover who Evelyn was before she hired Dex and V to steal the biochip. We'll learn what Evelyn's connection to the biochip was, and we will follow V's fascinating journey to discover the mystery of what happened to Evelyn and how V enacts vengeance against those who did her wrong. Thanks for watching, and please stay tuned for part 2 of this video series.